What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
We have a very special update for you.
Special update. So, as of recording this, the Kickstarter's sitting at about 75% funded.
Three quarters of the way there.
This is the Kickstarter.
We're pretty much $1,000 away.
We're $1,000 away. This is the Kickstarter to fix up the Fury and take it to Monterey Car Week and make a documentary.
That's super sweet.
And so, so we are pleasantly surprised by the support that we've gotten so far. We just wanted to let you know a development that
very significant.
Recently happened.
A big surprise.
So we originally, our plan was just like, we're going to take it there, maybe try to get it into some shows, but probably not. And just like drive around and
do a meet and greet,
mess around and meet and greet and whatever. And so we thought it would be funny to apply to enter the car into the Quail,
which is like the most prestigious hoity-toity.
Yeah. And so we thought it would be, we had this funny scene. We pictured and then they send back
rejection letter.
Yeah, they send back a rejection letter, and our hope was that the rejection letter wasn't canned. It was like
we really wish we could.
Yeah, it was like they talk about, because you have to submit, the way you submit a car to the Quail, they say submit the car, write a description, and then submit a picture, and then
select a category.
And then select a category, and then the council will review your entry.
You picture a bunch of guys in robes.
It's like it will go to the high council. And so we were just hoping that we'd get like a pretty humorous rejection letter that wasn't just like, we are sorry, but your car did not get selected.
Would be worth mentioning in the final video.
Yeah, we were hoping that it would be like kind of a humorous thing. But through some insane
divine,
we still don't know what happened. We don't know why, and we're not questioning it. But it was accepted
into the Quail
as one of the great Ferraris
in the category of the great Ferraris. The Fury has been accepted into the Quail.
There's no stopping us.
We don't know why, and we don't know what's going on. Yeah. But the car is going to be, we think. I mean, I don't want to say it's going to be on display, but
because they might turn us away when we show up.
Who knows? But we
at any rate, it's going to be very entertaining.
Yeah, it's going to be very entertaining. So now we are like, oh, please, make this happen.
Not only that, because it is not cheap to
so we
put a car in the Quail.
Yeah, you still have to pay $900 to put your car in the car show, which we have already paid. So we're kind of moving as if this Kickstarter is gonna as if it's gonna hit.
Yeah,
we already started fixing the car and stuff. We're just kind of assuming that this stuff's hoping we're going to get paid back and this is going to happen. So anyways, I'm not going to give too much away, but this is like a
final push.
Excited plea for let's make this happen. Because this video just went from potentially silly to extremely awkward and epic.
When I asked Coin if he was ready, he said he was born. He's born for this.
I cannot wait for this. So, please, if you are on the fence about this, as little as $5 will do it.
Right.
We've got some other tiers if you're interested in that, but this is the time to.
And I guess the quicker it hits it, even if it hits it before the end, we can plan that much better. Farther ahead to do more.
Absolutely. So, anyways, all right, that's all we got. So enjoy the podcast. This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 43. Welcome.
Hold on. The big 4-3.
I thought
we're not past it yet.
Wait, did we do it on the last one?
I guess. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
okay.
We did.
Come on.
Thank God.
Yeah. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. What's up to our patrons? Always a very special what's up.
And to everyone that's been contributing to the Kickstarter for our Fieri Goes to Monterey project, which is couple months away now?
It's
like less than 2 months.
It's less than 2 months away. Yeah. So thank you for making that closer to a reality.
Chugging along.
Yeah, we really appreciate that help. Patreon is actually getting
blown up.
It's starting to get to the point where it's that's legitimately a
real
community.
Thing.
So that's pretty sweet. If you have not checked out the Patreon, we now have, in addition to there's like behind the scenes stuff, like some little janky car review kind of things.
Outtakes.
And outtakes and stuff like that. But now we have an additional
podcast,
kind of
monthly
podcast just for patrons. So
some good stuff.
Yeah. We only have one episode so far, but we're hoping to do every month from now on. I think we're going to plan to do that. So if you are really enjoying this podcast and just can't get enough, there's an extra little exclusive mini podcast going on back there. So check that out. If that is a thing for you, link in the description below or Google Carbros Patreon. And what's up to the rest of the fans?
Sup?
Hey. What's going on? Okay, so here is a topic that Garrett is very passionate about. And I feel like this passion has been brewing since
it's been brewed for a bit.
Like early 2002.
Maybe. Yes.
High school.
Yeah.
Garrett came of age.
So here's a little peek into the past. Back when we were in high school, we used to make fun of cars.
Very different than what we
it was a much different time.
Yeah, we're way more mature now.
Basically, like take our like this position, like these torsos, but with legs standing, like in a high school parking lot.
A little more hair.
And like, that's about what it was.
Yeah. So anyways, I don't remember where we found it the first time, but this was, I said, 2002-ish, 2001.
Yeah.
Like peak high school.
Golden age of high school.
Yeah.
Golden age.
For everyone.
For anyone who is exactly the same age as us.
Yeah. So I don't know where this car came up. Maybe it was for sale, but there was a Dodge Viper, a 1999 Dodge Viper convertible that had this, like, when you first see it, it looks like one of those kind of like
just generic paint jobs.
Yeah, one of those kind of like highly detailed, like flame
paint jobs. Yeah,
paint jobs,
like airbrush.
Right. Like kind of realistic looking.
Yeah.
But actually, it was painted by a well-known artist whose work you may have seen.
I don't know where,
like maybe
around the internet.
No, his work is his art, I should say.
Yeah.
Is I think it's pretty well known. Like if you see it, you're probably like, oh, I know what that is.
Right.
Basically, it's a gentleman named Christian Reese Lassen. You've probably seen his work if you've ever been.
Yeah, it's very distinctive.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Hawaiian tropical.
Yeah, I think
heavily dolphin.
Heavily dolphin.
Yeah, I think his work is like, if you saw his work, you'd probably just think it was like a genre. Right. It's like, no, like most of
he's one of the
It's just like one guy.
It's like it's most.
It's like you see like above the water and then you see underneath. And there's like various beautiful
sea creatures
underwater.
It's very like majestic.
It's like lots of like purples and oranges,
like, flowy dolphins and like stuff like
and
that.
It's very masculine.
Let's just put some up. Are we?
Oh yeah. John, don't worry. John is going to be overloaded. For those of you who are watching this, you'll be
prepare to be swept away.
So anyway, so he not only did he do the flames on this Viper, but on the hood,
little treat
on the hood, he just painted like these dolphins.
Yeah, dolphin.
It's like the car is otherwise stock except for this
paint job,
which according to like at the time. It said like the car was like shipped to Hawaii, so he can like do the work. And it said like at a cost of $150,000, he like took this. How much was a Viper? Like
I don't know,
100,
I'm sure.
So like more than the price of the car. And he essentially like, at least to our high school eyes, and I guess to our current eyes, he like defiled.
Basically ruined the car.
Exactly. Yeah,
with one of the lamest murals you can put on a car. But in some ways, sweet. Like it's kind of weird.
It's funny in this like coked out. Like, I don't give a fuck thing.
But like, wouldn't you drive that thing around? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like to high school age, us were like, oh my god, could you imagine driving?
I think like
because it was like the most like badass car with like the weakest.
Well, it's
dumbest paint job.
Yeah, when you're young, it's like it's pretty like feminine kind of work, or like it's just kind of silly. And I think high school us was like, this is so stupid. Like Viper's awesome, but now I'm like, man, if you drive that around, like,
well, it'd be like ironically bad.
Yeah, that's why.
It wouldn't actually be cool.
Who could criticize that?
Well, we did a lot.
Other than children who are too insecure to realize how badass it is.
I don't know if I can back you up on that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I actually think like actually.
All right, well, leave a comment if you think this thing is badass.
Is it cool or not? I'm
the flames are fine. They're whatever. They're flames.
Right. Yeah.
But when
I mean, if you're into flames, those are the flames to have. For
I mean,
sure.
I don't think you could.
It's just weird because the dolphins don't match the rest of the car. Like it's just this little tiny part of the hood that's blue, and then just has some dolphins on this. Otherwise,
I think it was like a part of a sunset too.
little something.
I think it's cool.
But that's not the first car he's done.
I don't know if it was the first, but it's not the only.
Yeah, it's not the only car. Yeah.
So anyways, so he went, just prior to going live, John and I were looking at some of his other work,
Right.
His other vehicular.
Yeah.
You guys were doing some deep
And
research.
he's done a Murcielago, a Gallardo, Lamborghini.
We also found 2 Diablos.
Yeah, he did,
2 different Diablos.
He did like a purple, like 99 Diablo.
Yeah.
And like the Diablo is probably even like worse.
Yeah.
Or not worse. Okay, not worse. It's more elaborate, let's say, than the Viper. Where there's just like dolphins like across this.
It's across the whole thing.
Like the car is already pink to start. Like the Diablo had a kind of like metallic pink.
Purple.
And there's just dolphins like up and down the side of it.
I'm really just not sure how I feel about this. I've never been
You're conflicted.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because the picture we found of I'll put it up here, but of the purple Diablo, it's like at like this, it looks like a mediocre car show and it's like parked and there's a guy standing right next to it with his arms crossed, just like mediocrely looking at this thing.
Jettas and stuff. Yeah, I think
He's just like not impressed.
Yeah,
Like
and he also did a
Ferrari
348, like early 90s or mid 90s.
And surprise, it has dolphins on it.
that's kind of a theme here.
But it's like the Viper is kind of one thing, but like Diablo and 348, like both of those cars are like getting to like classic stage now.
Yeah.
So when you look at them, it's like even more, it's just like, oh man. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it's definitely evoking emotion in me. It's like, isn't that the sign of good art?
psychedelic drugs.
I just,
It is. Yeah. It really does make you think.
doesn't it? Aren't you feeling conflicted? So I'm kind of in awe.
Art is supposed to make you conflict.
He's kind of done something pretty amazing.
So anyways, but I think when we first saw the Viper, I think it was because it was for sale, if I recall.
Yeah, right. It's like 35 grand or best off.
Was it that?
No, I'm just kidding. It's probably $500,000 or something.
At the time it was expensive, but so like this car's always been in the back of my mind.
I can see that it has.
Chasing the dragon.
You've always seen like 10% distracted.
Chasing the dolphin, I should say.
Yeah, all that I've known you.
So I looked it up a little bit ago, and like the car has been like it's changed hands a few times.
Yeah, it has like 26 owners.
Let's
on
just say.
Carfax
And one of the most recent things I found is that it was sold at, I believe it was Barrett Jackson. Yeah, Barrett Jackson auction in Vegas, 2013. And so, how much do you think it sold for?
Oh man,
I'm gonna go 75,000.
no. I'm gonna say. Ooh, this is really tough to quantify. 250,000.
The correct answer is $51,700.
Damn it! Fuck, really?
How much would like just a stock Viper sell for? Like a first gen?
Probably more than that.
51. Damn.
I'm trying to see. I want to see.
I think we need a second Kickstarter
Yeah.
to buy one of these.
Oh, it had 11,500 miles on the clock.
So
That's actually quite a
drove
bit
it.
for
For
what it is.
I don't know if it was driven before or after.
Right.
It was turned into a piece of art.
Man, can you imagine keying that thing?
Whoops. I'm sure it provided some touch-up paint or something.
Or even just like rear-ending someone. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, or like, you like hit someone in it and then like you keep driving it for some reason.
Or like
fuck, I still gotta get to work.
It gets parked under a tree and all the sap. And
It's all like fucked up.
shit.
There's like bird poop on it and stuff. Like usually it looks better. This isn't a good judge of like how majestic it is.
Yeah, so
50 grand. Wow.
Yeah. You were way off.
I thought I would appreciate.
No, I thought it would lose money for sure.
I think it just accelerated the depreciation.
Yeah, stacked.
But
Gave it the old Lassen.
I would just like to meet the guy that originally paid the $150.
He had the vision to have this done.
Yeah. I'd rather meet him than the artist.
Yeah.
Because Christian, it's like, I just fucking love dolphins. It's like his story's not that interesting.
Yeah.
But the person who has enough money for any of those cars you listed, but like also coupled with a passion for Christian lessons, his artwork. I wonder what he charges. Is he still in business? That'd be pretty sweet to get the Fieri
Yeah.
Dolphin.
Another Kickstarter.
Yeah, we need a second Kickstarter for 150 grand to have Christian Latson paint a mural on like a Tercel or something. That'd be sweet.
But that also, the only thing it reminded you of, do you remember the Tom Green show? Like,
Yeah.
in the, what, late
MTV,
90s?
yeah.
There was a thing where he, like, remember he took his parents, like, Honda Accord?
Yeah.
And he basically had, like, graphic porn, like, airbrushed.
Yeah.
That was, like, the closest thing this reminded me.
Yeah, it was similar.
Like, equally
Same
embarrassing.
ballpark. Same like genre.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Interesting. Okay, well, here's something related, but I don't know how passionate you're going to be about this topic. Similar to Vipers. Yeah, when we were doing 2-3 podcasts ago, we were talking about like what is the best brand, or not best brand, but like what is a single brand of
Right.
cars that you would want to own
Forever.
And one of the things that kept coming up was like, ooh, does that brand have a supercar?
Yeah.
Like a sports car or whatever? And it just made me think, loosely related, but it made me think about the kind of the last generation of like, God, I don't know if you call them supercars anymore, but just very high, at like whatever that line is between sports car and supercar.
Right.
Early 2000s, where, and the cars I'm specifically thinking of are like the first Audi R8, the Ferrari 360, and the Ford GT.
Yeah.
And there's probably some other ones. But it's like, what happened to that kind of like
Tier.
that like tier? Yeah, because they weren't like untouchable.
The Saline S7 is kind of.
That's a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah.
That's kind of a supercar though.
Yeah.
But stuff where it's just like, and these are like the last cars where it's like, yeah, they had a manual transmission
Right.
because they weren't so
That's all. That's what
powerful.
they had. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it wasn't like, that's kind of stupid to have a manual in that car. It's like,
Yeah.
they weren't that fast.
Right.
You know, like a 360 is not that
by
fast.
state. Yeah, it's probably 0 to 60 in like 4.6.
Yeah, so it's like 400 horsepower
Yeah.
or something. You know, same with the R8, especially the V8 one with the
Yeah.
stick. It's like they're not that fast, but they're gorgeous.
They sound
first of
fucking
all.
sweet.
They sound awesome. They're just super cool looking.
And they're still like, well, not simple mechanically, but
They're pretty simple, though.
I don't know about like maintaining one. But
Right.
But they're not terrible.
Right.
Like the 360, it's like that's a Ferrari, but it's not ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the R8, that drivetrain's like pretty good. It's like they're especially the GT.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's like those are very desirable to me.
Yeah.
And they don't really. There's not really that price point anymore. The like 150,
Yeah, the, like,
$40,000
More than a regular car, but not like
Yeah.
obscenely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now it's like 300 grand or something. Like
Right.
the performance, it's both that they are extremely expensive and untouchable, but also that they're so high performance and fast
Yeah.
that I almost don't care about them. There's like
Right.
this weird phenomenon where a car will get so fast that you don't even care anymore.
Sure.
Like it's not even cool. And so I actually think those cars are going to be highly sought after
Yeah.
by
I could see that.
like a younger crowd, by a separate crowd than would be into like Ferrari, you know, than
new
would be
whatever.
into whatever, just like old Ferraris and whatever.
Right.
I think those are going to end up being pretty collectible cars.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, because I'm already starting to. I mean, I still can't afford one, but like I'm already starting to want.
There was a
That
time,
kind of
like
stuff.
not even that long ago, when you could buy like one of those like 355 or 348s.
Yeah.
For like not that, for like
Yeah.
40 grand or something.
Right.
Yeah,
Like those days are like gone.
yeah. There was like
And I don't think there'll ever be a point where like
No.
any Ferrari is that cheap.
I don't think so. My a friend of mine actually bought Doug DeMuro's Ferrari 360. And he bought it essentially at like the bottom
Yeah.
of the, because you might still be able to, but I don't think so. You could get like a stick 360 for like 70 or 80.
Right.
Like a pretty nice one.
Right.
And it's like, it's fucking Ferrari. Like
Yeah.
it's a modern looking Ferrari
It
for
sounds fucking
like 70
great.
grand. Yeah, they're starting to go up now. I think a nice one's like above 100.
Right.
And they're not going to drop.
No.
Like those kinds of cars don't drop.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you had the means to do it, like whatever 10 years ago or something, like you had it, but
Yeah, the only car the modern car that I think is kind of still in that tier, although they don't make it anymore, but it was the SLS. They stopped that in 2015.
The
Like,
what,
Mercedes.
Mercedes?
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of in that same tier.
yeah. So the only car I think and this is probably wrong, but the only one that comes to mind that still fits this is the 911.
Yeah, but which 911?
Yeah, like truly the
base, yeah.
The base 911.
2-wheel drive, non-turbo.
Like, I don't know if, I'm guessing the company's just like the customers, if you could afford 150 grand, you can afford 250
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah.
And so they just chased a higher end.
Right.
Makes sense.
A higher end market. But it's kind of got me like, those are sort of cars I like fantasized about more. Like, I don't really think about like a new Ferrari.
Yeah.
anymore.
I just dream about owning a 488.
I just they're don't get me wrong, they're amazing, but I don't think about them the same way, and I kind of miss that tier of like it's expensive, but it's not crazy.
Yeah,
right.
And like it's fast, but it's not crazy fast, and so like I feel like maybe I'm wrong because I'm not a customer
Right.
for I don't have enough money to afford it, but I suspect there is a market for like simpler, slightly slower. But like cooler, a bit more like enthusiast.
Yeah, it's like right now the only way you get there is by like just a crazy version of something like a Corvette.
Yeah, like the ZR1.
Yeah, like
but even that's super fucking fast.
Yeah, I think those are like the performance of
Right.
the $250,000
Yeah.
level,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
It's like a pumped up lower.
like I would love to see Ferrari make a cheaper.
Honestly, like GT350R like feels like that to me.
It is, yeah. That's basically it. Like that's the tier.
Or like GTR. They still make that, right?
Yeah, GTR kind of.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
GTR is more of like a designed to be fast above.
Right.
Yeah, but fair enough.
But it's
I'd
not
say-
like it's not in that crazy tier. Like
No,
yeah.
price wise, it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of miss that. I just miss those kind of cars. Where
Yeah.
I was like when they were new and I was younger, I was like, that's so expensive. That's so
Yeah, like,
crazy
wow.
expensive. I could, and now I'm like, oh no, that's actually just like kind of expensive.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not insane.
It's amazing the things you learn.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on that.
What I'd like is an R8 with some dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to get on this.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is that we should get Christian Lassen artwork commissioned on all our cars. Okay, so here it comes the final of our, I don't know what you want to call it, classic
Behind the
scenes commentaries. We're going to continue with that, and then we'll have to figure out something else to do
Oh boy.
after this. Anyways, let's head out to the field, see what the boys are up to.
Two gents.
Okay,
Okay. First, I have a little question.
Chad.
What is your biggest failure?
Yeah, that's if I had to ask you in life what you were most let down about,
Yeah.
what would your answer be?
This video it's pretty much gonna haunt us for the rest of our lives.
Not graduating high school.
Yeah.
And the video Chad.
Disappointing my father.
Yeah.
Because in our minds, this was like the sweetest idea.
I don't know if it was.
Well, not the sweetest, but it was a really good idea.
We put a lot of fucking work into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just saw the view count as like 13,000.
Yeah, still, yeah.
It's
After like 2 years or something, yeah.
The problem with this video,
There are many problems.
I don't know, a problem with this video is like it was way funnier in our heads
I guess, yeah.
than it ended up being. And so that's why I kind of feel like it was a failure of our execution. It's not the concept.
No.
You think what?
I think it's not that the concept is bad. It's just the concept was always going to be hard
For the average person.
compared to like a final race.
Yeah.
Like one of them is like, here's a really funny, stupid race, and the other one's like, here's this kind of like commentary on the future of autonomous driving.
I just feel like when we were planning this video and I described it to people, they were like, "This hilarious."
Yeah.
They were just like, "That's so."
Parts of it are like that.
I know.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
has its
know.
moments.
I think like we tried to do too much with it.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it is a funny concept, but we just went, like this should have been maybe like a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I really don't
a couple
know.
minutes.
Yeah.
How long is it? Like
5.5 minutes, pretty much.
that's-
Yeah.
I was going to say it was 9.
No.
It
by YouTube, that feels like it's.
just feels like it's 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember why. I mean, obviously we worked on it for a while.
I don't even want to watch this. All right, fucking play it. All right, let's just start it.
Driving your own car?
Well, that's
What
pretty
a
funny.
bummer.
And who wants to deal with those clunky mechanical controls? Like we should have just
Pause it. I feel like that's a solid start.
Yeah. That should reel him in.
I just ended it.
The first 10 seconds.
Yeah, because I think we had that joke for a while. It was like, what if we're shifting?
And it's a game of Jenga behind for some reason.
It's like, okay, not a bad start. Do you remember when we were going to film that in the junkyard?
Oh, right.
For whatever reason.
Because we were predicting spilling some really obnoxious code red or something.
We were gonna have a full fucking soda.
Without a 44 ounce without a lid or something.
That's what it was. Yeah, because I remember having Jenga in a Ziploc bag walking around the junkyard.
Yeah.
It's like, where are we going to film this? And we couldn't find a car that wasn't just a total piece of shit with a manual transmission.
They're destroyed.
Yeah. But that scene. And then you were like, just fill it with ice. And do it in the Miata. Who cares?
Yeah. It's going to be a half a second shot.
Yeah, just do it with
But so the dummy Chad came from a Spirit Halloween store. I don't know if you can recognize it or not, but so I remember me and Garrett went to a Halloween store
it's
together.
It's just a generic, posable, not even posable, really.
It's marketed as posable, but it's not really posable.
Because its body is just
But remember, we went there because we saw online, we saw that one that actually was a metal frame dummy. It didn't have a body, but it just had a head, hands, and feet. And then the body itself was a metal frame. And so we went there, and I remember we FaceTimed you.
I don't remember where I was, but I was out of town.
We were walking around while FaceTiming, looking at these ridiculous dummies, and we decided on this one, which I think it's pretty solid.
It's basically a mannequin's head and a stuffed animal body.
Yeah. It's his body's just, stuffing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Continue.
Hey.
Hello.
There is. And
I also think his voice is it's too hard to understand him.
Yeah, here's the other thing. Here's why I say this video is better in our head. I think his voice kind of ruined this video.
Yeah.
Because when we just kind of be talking amongst ourselves,
we'd be imitating it.
About the humor. We'd be like, oh, and imagine if he was like, where do you want to go today? Or something we'd use a funnier voice.
It had some human.
Yeah, we'd just fucking do this funny voice and it'd be funny. And then when we made this, we were looking for these synthetic voice emulators.
Do you remember going way back when we were in junior high school, how funny and quaint it was when you would have that's kind of where that came from.
Max had that.
And we were just let's make it say bad words in class.
Yeah, the problem is that most of them are so good now that they're not funny anymore.
Right, they just sound like people.
A British person talking. Yeah, a lot of YouTube videos.
We were looking for more the Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, and so we were like early Hawking.
Yeah.
We were like, damn, where can we find some 80s? Because those were funny.
Right.
And this is the closest we could get, but it's just not. His voice just isn't that funny.
Yeah. And it's hard to understand.
And he's hard to understand. And we gave him some kind of complex lines. And so I actually think this video would have been funnier if we had voiced.
We just did it.
Yeah. Yeah. If we had just distorted our voices or something, but we had done the voice acting. I've thought about that before. I've actually thought about recutting
the
audio or just re-editing this video to be a little shorter and redoing the audio. It's the ingredients are good. It was just cooked for the wrong amount of time or something. Anyways, this shot was also
it was
sketchy as fuck. I am in the car. I am driving the car with my feet. I am in this shot. I'm in the driver's seat,
but laying off,
driving,
laying in the passenger seat, basically.
Laying backwards, my spine is draped over the center console.
Yep.
This is a stick Miata, by the way.
I'll play it for a couple seconds more, but
introducing Chad,
the
world's first
it looks
autonomous driving
solid.
robot.
And so Garrett's driving, and I'm filming in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And
you know what? This video actually has. If you join the Patreon, there's cutting room floor footage of this shot, the before and after that we didn't show, and so you can see it there. The cutting room footage of this video is as good, if not funnier.
Like stop.
Yeah, 'cause
Like,
I remember Coyne told us, like, okay, if I'm going to get close to either, Garrett's car or the
if I'm
curb
gonna die,
to yell something. And
something.
for some reason, I thought Garrett was in charge of that.
There was
He
a miscommunication.
he probably thought I was in charge of it because I'm like focusing on filming and like getting the car in frame.
And I'm driving.
And so as I'm filming it, I'm like, wait, it's getting really close to the curb. It's getting real close to the curb. And so I am the one who like instinctively just yelled out, and Coyne like pops up in like half a second to correct it. But yeah.
Yeah, I also like. I think one of the funniest jokes from this video is that acronym.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's pretty sweet. Just does it.
H.
Exclusively from Carbros. Using Chad couldn't be easier. First, log on to the Carbros.
Yeah, I think this part is where it kind of starts to drag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It should have
after 30 seconds.
It should have gone like directly to like plugging him in
Yeah,
at this point.
that's true. We also suspect that this like gender humor,
Yeah.
basically banned any possible
Mainstream.
chance of this video like ever being.
Even though these are all real things except for Chipotle.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
I think it came across. Well, the joke is like, why would the robot have?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the jokes we do. It's like, no, wait, it's not offensive. It's like it's actually.
That picture of him is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Model pose.
Yeah.
Website. Next, select your Chad gender and shipping speed.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Inspect the unit for damage and install Chad into any vehicle. Finally, locate and install Chad's power and data connector.
I don't know whose brainchild that was, but
It's probably Garrett.
Where would you like to go?
Yeah, I think it's the voice.
yeah, the voice definitely detracts.
Like he starts talking and you don't laugh.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it should be funny.
Yeah.
And it's just like weird. Yeah, this whole scene, the original plan for this scene was that we were going to plug Chad in and then put a child in the passenger
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah, my son.
Yeah, he was going to like plug him in, put the kid in the seat, like a 1-year-old in a seat.
Yeah,
And have his,
immediately, yeah.
Seatbelt, like no child seat. And then be like, take him to school, Chad.
And he
he's
just
gonna,
like does a
peel
burn out. Yeah.
And then we're going to show a shot of Garrett's face, like a tear. Like, he's grown up.
Yeah.
Like, there goes my boy. Yeah. And then we were like, it's kind of weird.
And a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. So did it this way instead.
Chipotle, please.
Please update my firmware.
That's also.
So that's the same pose,
Yeah.
except now your head
I
is
am
in my
st-
crotch.
I'm still driving the car. Just because John is now in the car
That's not stopping.
doesn't mean that there's a different technique.
Does it mean your head isn't?
Yeah, it's literally in my crotch.
Doesn't mean that I'm not laying across. My body is not draped uncomfortably.
Chad is far superior to other self-driving cars in several ways. Such as ground.
Man,
See, like those voices are funny.
Yeah, I know. It's like we should have just done it ourselves. I can't believe we didn't just at least try. Whatever happened to that stupid thing? That little Google
I don't know. I think Tesla just kind of ruined
came and
it.
went.
Yeah.
Things like.
Well, Google has those like Waymo.
Oh, that's right.
I think they, like, kind of
transitioned
moved it to that,
I
Waymo. Yeah. Anyways.
Making level 6 autonomy. Not only can he drive a car, but he can be your friend.
I think the commentary, the voice should have been different too. I don't know
like
how.
the voiceover?
Yeah, but the like over the top, like
Just when I
salesman. Thing.
when I watch this, I feel like almost everything in this video could have been trimmed by like 20%.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at the least.
Yeah. Agreed.
This is like right when I got the Jeep, right?
Yeah. This is
early Jeep.
How was your day?
It was fine. Johnson's really riding my ass.
Johnson is such a prig. He doesn't see your true value.
Yeah, I mean, just like
How about we go to Chipotle?
Yeah.
just imagine us like planning this, but with our voices.
Yeah.
Like Johnson is such a prick.
Yeah.
We're just like,
Well,
oh,
we
yeah,
we
that's
actually
fun.
did do that when we were filming. So like John knew
Yeah.
what to say.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
You were
mean,
like
you'll see
you were
in
like
the-
behind the seat, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you'll see
speaking
in the
for
cutting
Chad.
room floor, but I'm like Johnson such a prick, just to get some cues. But yeah, it's like you watch this, it's like
Especially because like
What?
Chad speaks so slowly that like
Yeah.
it makes the video, like Garrett says, drag even more than it needs to.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but
yeah.
No, I'd kind of like to just go home, Chad.
Getting directions to Chipotle.
I also remember we had to try really hard to get him to say Chipotle.
Oh,
Remember, you had
yeah.
to spell it
It was
like
like-
super weird.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
So we're like, damn it, it's like phonetically spelled.
Yeah.
And Chad was designed by these car guys who understand.
We've talked about this on the podcast before.
Any
This is
vehicle,
pretty sweet.
not some Silicon Valley tech weenie who's never even seen a car, much less driven one. Chad's personality was developed by observing
Shout out to Savage
millions of
Geese.
American drivers, so you'll feel right at home with him behind the wheel.
Chad. Whoa. Take it easy, man.
Sorry, he's
Unable to determine ethnicity.
so bad worked up. They should really learn how to drive or get out of the country.
Yeah, like I feel like it's just his delivery that's
Yeah.
like botching it.
Right, yeah.
This is funny. It's like, why would he be racist?
It's like why would he have the ability to detect ethnicity?
Yeah, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, come on, it's funny. Then you watch it, you're like, what did he even say? You're
Yeah.
like, it's all fucked up. Yeah, this scene took a lot. To
Yeah.
Terminator.
heavy editing.
Hey baby, do you want to come up to my hotel room and take a look at some movie scripts?
What's the director that we're or the
Wasn't that
Weinstein.
Weinstein, that's the-
Whatever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
isn't that what he did?
yeah that's like right at the height of the
It's really
Weinstein.
in the moment.
Yeah, I have a part specifically for you. You would be perfect for this major motion picture.
In May.
Use Chad to run quick errands around town.
Just park it here. I'll be a quick minute.
Shit, I am not that good at parallel parking. Maybe if I can just...
Oh, man.
How much room do I have back there?
Yeah, this
I
video,
don't
like,
really have...
I think if you describe this video to someone, they would laugh.
Yeah.
Like if you told them about like what happens in the video and stuff like that. Like, they
Yeah,
would
like
laugh.
it feels like everything needs to be like trimmed back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't say that before we put it up.
Put you on a curb. This is very embarrassing, and I don't like it. This vehicle is a real bitch to park.
Or on long, boring road trips.
This is probably my favorite part.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Sleep mode deactivated. Sleep mode activated.
Yeah, pretty,
And at the end of your
Pretty
happier and more productive day, don't be surprised if you want to keep hanging out with your
Damn,
new
those
best friend.
Professional
Where
special
did you
effects.
go?
yeah, went
Oh,
overboard.
there you are.
All of this stuff is
We are so...
God, it was the most janky.
it was pretty
rigged
janky.
system.
Yeah, but like all the effects are explained in they're shown in the Patreon
Yeah.
cutting room floor version of this video.
good buddies.
So what are you waiting for?
Talking to me.
Experience the convenience and companionship of autonomous driving today.
God, I forgot there's this whole fucking section.
Honey, where's the car?
Oh no.
Okay, now this scene should have been longer.
Yeah. Yeah. The build up.
This is for like the
Personally, I feel like we should have doubled the amount of time that he stands. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't pick up this beat. At least they didn't demonetize it.
Welcome, Captain Let's roll. Hell yeah. Go surf.
That's a little throwback
Surf
to
Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas.
Yeah.
Where are we headed?
Holy
I say
shit, we
we
put a
go
lot of
get
effort.
hammered at Chipotle. Shit, yes. Pull over real fast, bro.
The puke?
Yep.
Hey, that asshole looks like he wants trouble. Hey, chum, do you want to race for pigs?
Okay.
I hope you brought your waterproof.
This is a Dazed and Confused reference.
Yeah. Woo. Oh, I am in deep shit. Here goes nothing.
Wiping the sweat.
Yeah.
Chat.
Okay, look, the car is gone, and I do not want to talk about it. The important thing is that I was not harmed. A car is replaceable, but
See,
a
like
human
that-
life is
I know.
not.
The voice is just killing it.
Bro, you better let that run.
Okay.
San Diego.
Saved it at the end.
Yeah.
I truly want to remake. It's like we don't really have the time.
Yeah.
but like
Recut it.
I'd like to recut it and redub the voices.
Yeah.
Because really, like the footage is funny.
Yeah.
And the jokes don't need to change.
Yeah.
It's just the
It's
fucking-
trimmed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like anyone trying to hear Chad, like you can't be laughing from a previous joke.
Yeah,
it has to be
right.
like complete silence. You have to like
Yeah,
be
he almost
wearing
needs-
headphones.
He almost needs like subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think we could do a better job on the voices. With that said, it was weird because a lot of people were like, "This is like hilarious."
yeah,
it's
like,
like-
if people actually took the time to like watch it multiple
Yeah.
times, it's like one of the most fan favorite videos.
Yeah,
I
some
think.
people
Yeah.
really like this video, but I don't know. We were a bit disappointed with it, and I'm not like, why didn't it? It's one thing if it's like, why didn't it do better? It's so good,
Right.
Yeah, just we could have done better.
Which is how I feel about like Gymkhana or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, that's about like
Sure.
that's about how it should have done, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could do like a 3-minute version with better voices.
Yeah.
Like going back to it. Maybe someday.
We'll get to
Someday,
it. Circle back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Circle back around to it. Anyways, that was Chad. Hope you enjoyed them. And our final comment. Well, I guess until we release new videos.
Someday.
which might someday.
Yeah, eventually. Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed. Back to the studio. Wow.
That was. They saved the best for
They
last.
saved the. I mean, they just couldn't end it.
It's
on a
definitely
higher note.
an end of an era.
Yeah,
now.
it's just they just is insane. It's like the end of Seinfeld.
Or Sopranos,
It's like wow.
or
what a-
Game of Thrones.
What a mic drop. Okay.
So, just another topic that I've kind of been always thinking, because we all do kind of read a lot of or watch,
Consume a lot of
Yeah.
automotive.
is it's kind of like how easy it is to become like an influencer or like
Yeah.
a shaper of opinion.
Opinion.
And I always think of like what is it that makes someone qualified to give an opinion about cars?
Yeah.
Because it seems like there's such a disconnect from like the journalist reviewer side to like what people are actually buying and making.
Right.
And especially the way it seems like almost every auto journalist, not every single one, but like there's kind of like a general, like we've talked about this a little bit, how they kind of think about things in the same way.
Yeah.
It's like they all like steering feel.
Right.
Yeah.
And like if something gets rid of physical buttons, like that's a big issue. Like,
Yeah.
where's the button? Where's the physical buttons? Like they're very into like tradition, but also like they want stuff to be good.
Yeah. Here's my thinking is that the majority of people who are like automotive journalists, it's a very loose term,
Sure.
are actually just enthusiasts with strong opinions.
Right.
Because they're not really good. First of all, they're not good journalists or whatever. They're not actually doing any investigative journalism. But they're also not representative of the target buyer.
Yeah,
They're
well,
not arguing
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I guess it is like, let's just say if you go back to the supercars you were just talking about, let's say you've got 300 grand for whatever reason, and then you're ready to buy a car, and you're looking at a Ferrari or a Aston Martin or a Porsche or whatever. Who do you get your opinions from? Some guy that's like never owned one,
Or
but it's like driven tons.
or does
of
their
them, but-
opinion even like I don't understand why an individual's opinion even matters on that, because it's like if you have that much money you're going to go test drive it yourself, and you're like obviously if you're going to spend that, your opinion matters. Like
Yeah,
who cares like if some YouTube video likes the car or
Yeah,
not?
that's what I mean. Like it's interesting, like how, like what makes you qualified to speak on something that you could never.
Yeah.
It'd be like I review like iPhones and or smartphones, but like but I personally use a Nokia.
Right.
Like that's what I have. I prefer like the analog thing. But let me tell you why this.
Yeah, it's weird to have strong opinions about cars that. In the case of supercars or whatever, it's like you're not even you don't even have the lifestyle to afford to support that,
right?
And so you're not even sure what.
It's like a lot of the people that like professionally review cars probably don't even own cars.
Yeah, most reviewers are like poor.
Yeah, they get press cards.
And so I guess what you're relying on them for is like, okay, you've had at a certain point, if you've
experienced,
you've had access to a bunch of them, and so. The problem is they're giving their opinion based on that, which is fine because that's what you want to know.
Sure.
It's like, wow, the interior quality of this one is much nicer than this one. But it's like there's factors that they should not be commenting on and they cannot, and they kind of do. It's kind of like I'm the final, I'm the final word about cars or whatever. And it's like, no, you're just a resource who's sat in a lot of cars,
like one of the many.
Yeah, like you've just been exposed to a lot of cars.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. Like it'd be like someone that's not a doctor can write for a medical journal.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let me tell you what I think about this.
Yeah. Because really, really the term that should be used for most automotive journalists is just like you're an entertainer.
Yeah, I guess
it's pure entertainment.
It's not even just cars. I think a lot of sort of like consumer driven media, whether it's reviewing like video games or.
But the difference is like for video games or like even movie critics, it's like the people watching that actually have the means to go out and buy that product.
Yeah, it's not. Whereas like there's no like barrier to entry.
90%, if not more, of people watching a car review aren't gonna buy that car at all, no matter what.
Yeah,
even if they say it's the greatest car ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. It's almost like it's similar to like sports commentary where like people will be like extremely passionate about like teams and sports and whatever. It's like, yeah, but that wouldn't make you a good coach.
Right.
Like you don't actually know how to run a team or anything. You're just kind of talking about the game.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. And then sometimes they'll like dig deep into like industry topics. Like, let me tell you why, Ford isn't selling enough cars. Or like, what is Ford? It's like, you don't even fucking, have you ever even bought a new car?
Yeah, that stuff's kind of cringy. Like, it's just like people demand crossovers. And like, here's what's killing this trend. It's like, you're so far out of you're so far out of your league there, dude. It's like, just stop.
Yeah.
Or girl. I don't want to, I don't want to just, sorry.
Assume,
I don't want to assume that all terrible journalists are male.
You got to stay woke.
There's really bad female ones too. I mean, it's kind of like to answer your question, like when is someone qualified to be a professional journalist? It's like it's when they're confident enough to call themselves essentially is what it is. When they because no one's gonna go.
It's funny because like I mean that's sort of like my job in a way, but I've never like really considered myself like I'm a journalist.
Right. Well, that's what we're doing.
That's true.
We could just pretend Car Bros is serious. It's not like hold on, the association is like going to come after you.
Yeah, it's like I enjoy cars and I enjoy like sharing ideas about them or researching them.
I feel like a person's never actually qualified to review or give an opinion, but it's just they gain an audience of like-minded people.
But then sometimes there will be like
there are some that are good,
and it's like I've raced for years. I even like worked on the development team for this, and then I did this. It's like okay, that guy knows his shit.
What's his name? Chris Harris.
Yeah,
is that his name? Like he's one of the few. It's like. Wow, not only is he like a super competent driver, but he's like insightful or whatever. There's a few where you listen to. That's what I mean. The rest of them are just entertainment.
Right.
It's like I have like 15 minutes to eat my burrito.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like watch someone's video about whatever. But I don't think I've ever watched a video and gone like, well, he says this car is
the best.
Awesome. So
I'm going to go buy it.
I now feel like it's on.
That's where my money's going.
Yeah. They're just little opinion pieces. They're just little. Like journalism within automotive,
it's like a huge asterisk.
It's essentially, it's really just kind of an entertainment. Like
They're not the protectors of democracy and
it's
free
just-
speech and expression.
It's just like there's at the bottom level you've got people on forums and Facebook arguing about cars in like the comment section, and then like just one level up from that is people who like write for blogs. They're just like they're like longer form, better edited comments. Right. Essentially, it's like they're still just trying to be entertaining. They're clearly just trying to be entertaining.
That's the category you fall in for your job.
I would say so, probably.
Yeah.
But then I don't know how I guess age. Well, I don't know if age has anything to do with it. You would think like kind of naturally it would.
I think so.
Age and experience.
You tend to get better at things.
Yeah, or you just have more experience to build on when you're actually talking about something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So if you're young, you're not good at it.
Basically,
spoilers.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Only old.
Yeah, well, let us know what you think. I don't know that we really came to a conclusion.
It was more of a therapeutic
vent session. Yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for being here. Once again, thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome and making this better and more fun. This is like because of you guys slowly transforming into something that we were taking more and more seriously.
As you can see by
as you can see by these scorching hot, well-researched topics. Yeah, thank you guys. And thank you for the rest of you, especially who made it to the end. Hope you enjoyed. See you next week. Thanks for being here.
See you.
Bye.